what I see? Is that a blast furnace? What are we talking about? I mean, I've talked about having much fun with trains, but this is a blast. This is a blast furnace. It's a Walthers model. Hi, this is Burr Stewart, and I'm trying to do a live chat today, and I hope you enjoy it. I may get a little confused by the stuff on the screen, but I want to show you a question that I've been grappling with since one of my friends brought over a Walthers blast furnace that he had picked up somewhere. And I'll change the orientation here and show it to you in more detail, and we can discuss it. So you're all familiar probably with the fact that Walthers made an absolutely beautiful kit for a blast furnace many years ago, and I think it may still be fairly readily available. I don't really know that. But I've been really getting into steel mill modeling in the last 5 years since I went on a tour of the West Seattle steel plant, and you've seen me talk about this in some of my other videos. And I wanted to show you something really interesting about layout planning because, like I said, a friend brought this over and said, if you don't want this, we're going to sell it at a swap meet. I said, okay, fine, let me just figure it out. And so I found out, just to my amazement, that in a corner of my layout, which you see here, there happens to be a space that's just big enough for this enormous blast furnace. Now, the fact that there wasn't a blast furnace in Seattle, and this model railroad is a model of Seattle, or the Seattle region, let's say, and let me show you the overall picture of it. I hope you can see this reasonably on a live stream. I'm used to being able to edit my videos a little bit more closely. This is just a scan of part of the layout. You can see it's a big HO scale layout. It's in about an 800 square foot basement. And it's a complete mess right now, as you know, if you've been watching my channel, because of the remodel that we're doing upstairs. But anyway, never mind. This is about layout planning, what I wanted to talk about today. And here we have a blast furnace. And of course, like I say, I've been very enthusiastically learning about steel mills for the last 5 years. And if you don't know about this, there's a Steel Mill SIG, Special Interest Group, has a wonderful magazine, and I've been participating in their Zoom meetings and subscribing to the magazine, learning all kinds of cool stuff. And I'll show you a little bit of that right now. I don't want to take too much of anyone's time, but the blast furnace itself is this big, huge cylinder, and the downcomer is actually, there's a big pipe that comes out of here. They're called the downcomer, which is not here. But anyway, the point is that the blast furnace heats up it takes in the raw materials of iron ore and coke and limestone, and it melts it all down, and it eventually, when it's liquid, it comes out in these troughs. You can see the troughs here. Hi, everybody. Great to see you. And some of you I know are frequent commenters on my channel, and I'm really glad to see you here. So see, the steel flows out of the blast furnace, which is down in the dark there, and then it comes out down low, and it pours into the ingot cars. Sorry if you know all this. Hi, Ron from Montreal. Good to see you. Anyway, in theory, I could spread these two tracks out into three. I could have loaded ingot cars coming out of here. I could figure out some way to have what's called a high line in order to bring in the ore. And as you know, I love ore cars. I could bring in ore. Now, there's a couple problems with it. And I would, encourage you to make comments if you have opinions about some of this. But my main point today is just because someone gives you a steel mill model doesn't mean you necessarily should accept it. What's that phrase? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Well, I think that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking at a gift horse and going, I don't know about this. So yes, this is a very cool model and it fits in this space, okay? That's point one. Point two is there isn't much room around it for anything else that has to do with a steel mill. It's kind of constrained in by a bunch of fixed tracks and areas. Now this is over here is a place where we have a big cement plant with 3 loading tracks, and that's pretty cool too. I don't want to give up the cement plant just because a random steel mill popped in. I mean, this is a little bit nuts. But all I'm saying is, in theory, I could add another curved switch and I could have 3 tracks and we could be hauling loaded hot ingot cars all over the place. Cool, right? All right, so let's back up a little bit. How are we doing? Can you hear me okay? Could somebody write a comment to that effect? I'm always a little bit nervous about the audio on a live stream. Um, so there's the famous Rainbow Bridge. Oh, good, you can hear well. Appreciate it. I guess I better demonstrate the Rainbow Bridge again. So this is the reverse loop for the Sky Comish staging yard, which is on the top level over to the right there. And we just grab, it's hinged. We grab it with our hand, we bring it down like this, and we run trains. Sorry about my shaky hand. So we run trains in a reverse loop around so we can have the eastbound trains turn around and become westbound. Now you'll notice something really cool here, which is that the downcomer, the top of the steel mill, clears the Rainbow Bridge. No problem. It doesn't touch it. It's near it. Okay, so that's another point. I'm going to make a variety of points here, and I encourage you to make points as well. Because this is all about sort of layout design and how to restrain yourself from doing things you really, really, really want to do. So I really want to have a cool steel mill in my layout. But another point is there was not a blast furnace in Seattle. There was a steel mill, but it was not a blast furnace, especially not in the 1973 era. It was simply a electric arc furnace where they melted down scrap. And as you know, we're really into that. I'm trying to build a model of the West Seattle steel mill, and here's an example. Here's a couple of guns full of scrap, and that's going to be sent to the West Seattle steel mill. Now, cool, but I'm just saying there's no prototype for this to be here on this layout at this time. So that's a point, a disturbing point. Now, there's another point that has to do with massing. Have you heard the term massing studies? When you look at how big a thing is in relation to other things, it's an architecture jargon term. But what we're doing today right now is kind of a massing study because we're looking, I'm backing up slowly. We're looking at that steel mill. And have you noticed something about this, which is the steel mill is bigger than anything else in the area. It's huge, taking up a bunch of, it has a lot of mass. I don't know, I'm just, to me, it's distracting from the mountains in the backdrop and those gorgeous scenic Elmer's glue bottles there. No, just kidding. But where the Elmer's glue is going to be cement cars with a relatively short bunch of cement hoppers. And we're building a sugar plant for the location where the steel mill is there. We're planning to have a sugar plant, which will really be cool. Yeah, well, thanks, Gary. I mean, it does look good here. That that's part of what's really bothering me. And I wanted to go live stream and get people's ideas because the problem is not only is there not a prototype for it, but also when you come around the corner into this aisle, it seems to me that it takes up too much visual space. And it makes the whole thing, it throws off the architectural balance of the scene, if you will. And this is from all the way the other, side of the room. I should really I have a tripod there, you can see right